What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another run here on American Truck Simulator. A little bit of a drive-by there for the opening. Wanted to show off this good-looking truck. Changed up the paint, and as you guys might have seen before in a past video for my skins showcase. Alright, well, if you're going to stop and screw then, punk. Really was digging the skin, so said screw it, alright, let's make a change and throw this bad boy on there, and I'm really liking it. Hauling a regular Wabash trailer today, loaded up with foam, 33,000 pounds of it, which seems a little heavy for foam, but okay. And going to Nogales. I'm in Kingman, Arizona right now, so why Dole needs foam, I have no idea, but that's what they want, that's what they're gonna get, right? So today I wanted to touch on something that, although I really don't know a whole lot about it, the company I used to drive for was just starting to get into it when my time there was done. And so my experience with it was very limited. But I've been reading up a little bit on it here and there, and although the ink is still drying on some of the laws and regulations, and some of it still hasn't been figured out, glider kits. I've had some people ask me about it especially recently with my video I did yesterday for the Freightliner Argosy. And I had mentioned that, according to Wikipedia, the Argosy is available in North America as a glider kit. Now, I had some of my Canadian viewers mention, oh, we see them up here all the time, they're all over the place. And even some of the guys off my convoy said the same thing. And, you know, maybe it is for sale up there as a full-built truck. But according to the limited information I had about it, and it is in the Freightliner website under the Legacy section of it. But according to the limited research I was able to do on it, you know, those trucks are gliders. And I had someone ask me what was a glider, and it's not the first time someone has asked, and I've even asked that question myself. Gliders are... Originally, I thought it was a truck that was wrecked and beyond repair. And that become... Now, this is where I've heard two different stories. That wrecked truck then has its internals, engine, transmission, drivetrain, suspension all ripped out and replaced. And the truck was repaired and put back on the road. It's basically brand new. But then I've also been told that truck turns into a donor truck. And then those internals get put into another truck, which is most likely going to be newer. That one I see more often than the other one. So maybe the information I read originally was wrong, or maybe it was just that outdated and things changed. But the gliders are becoming very popular, but now the EPA has set its eyes, it's put its bullseye, its targets right on that section of the industry. For the last few years, glider kit companies have been popping up left and right. The ones that have been out for a while have been seeing business double year over year. We're still talking, you know, thousands, maybe tens of thousands, you know, so it's not something that's going to take over the market anytime soon, but it has been gaining traction quite a bit. And many industries have taken notice. One of the articles I was reading did an interview with a couple of the top 2 glider kit companies in the United States. I believe one was called Fitzgerald. And one specializes in Western Stars and Freightliners. The others pretty much do whatever. I mean, they all have their little niche that they usually perform best with. But they take trucks, rolling chassis, what have you, and then they take rebuilt motors and rebuilt transmissions and just basically all rebuilt parts. They put them into these trucks, and there you go. Now you basically have a brand new truck. Now this was originally okay because what it does, what the original rules were, and I believe it was stage 1 if I remember correctly, stage 1 being based off of the drivetrain's production year. So what that meant was you could take a 2014 Peterbilt 389 and get it as a roller, no engine, no or no drivetrain, and then send it off to one of these shops, or get your own kit if you wanted to, which the place I used to work at was starting to do. They were ordering their own parts and putting the trucks together themselves. But you could get, depending on the year that you wanted and the purpose of your truck, a pre-2007, I think it was, and a pre-2001 engine with a full warranty on it. They're all rebuilt, reman. Same for the transmission. I think the transmissions even had a lifetime, or maybe that was the rear ends. The rear ends had a lifetime. We're talking 500,000 mile warranties, full, Detroit diesel or Eaton Fuller support, all of that, as if they were brand new. And you could throw all of that into your 389, and so you would essentially have a brand new truck that was a 2014 with suspension and drivetrain and engine components from 2001 or 2006, depending on your need. Now, the need is there, and it's very desired by some companies. For example, A&R Transport. Those guys, for example, as well as the company I used to work for, the trucks do a lot of idling. Now, these new environmental BS equipment that they've put in these trucks do not work well with long idle or high idle vehicles. Hence the reason why I had so many problems with my Peterbilts, because I was idling so much while I was at a stop. And A&R Transport, for example, they're a bulk cargo carrier. And you guys, I'm sure you guys have seen it. They got the they got their hopper bottoms. They're carrying plastic or stuff like that. They're huge tanks. In fact, I drove one a couple weeks ago, and it was supposedly cement. It's like the cement trailer here in the game. So those guys have to run at a high idle because the vacuum system is off of their engines. And if they shut down their engines, well, they're not going to be able to offload. So because of these DPF, diesel particulate filters, or DEF, diesel exhaust fluid systems that they had on these trucks, the filters and the systems were getting clogged up. And then what happens? Well, your diesel particulate filter, your DPF is clogged up, or your DEF system's all jacked up. Now you got to take it over to the shop, most likely Peterbilt or Kenworth, and have them tear apart the whole damn system and fix it. Now, for a while, yes, this is going to be under warranty, but if you're an over-the-road guy, that warranty isn't going to last too long. I believe on my truck it was only 100,000 miles, since I was a local guy. I don't know what it would be on an over-the-road truck, but still, that's not good. That's not what a company wants. They want to have those trucks moving, and if they're sitting at Peterbilt or Kenworth getting their DEF systems replaced, or their filter has been sent off to PACCAR or someone else to get, because that's not something that in-house Peterbilt or Kenworth can do. They have to send those filters out to someone else and have them clean it. Fortunately for me, the place that was cleaning my filter was only like 20 minutes away. But still, it's not something, that's going to take 5 minutes to do. It's not, you're not cleaning out the filter from your vacuum with these things. I don't know what in all the process entails, but I know it's not something that takes 5 or 10 minutes to do. But, you know, companies can't have that. They just spent $150,000, $200,000 on that truck, and now that truck is going to be parked, not making any money, and the driver is sitting on his hands. If there isn't another truck to drive. So, yeah, not good, not good. So, companies like A&R Transport have been going to glider kits, and they get a brand new truck or a used truck, and they might scrap the whole system or, you know, whatever. But they go and get and I believe they said they were using pre-2001 engines, and that was before the DPF filters were installed. So, avoiding the whole problem altogether. And on top of that, they're actually saving, in some instances, 25% off the cost of a brand new truck. So, not only are you saving yourself a little money, you're getting a truck that's going to perform the way you expect it to without any of the emissions crap clogging up or breaking down on you. And on top of that, you are also getting the added benefit of these motors being under warranty by the manufacturer, as well as having some computer work done to increase the efficiency of the motor. So yeah, you're getting a 2001, you know, Detroit diesel or Cat C15, but it's not going to perform or get the same fuel mileage as it did back in 2000 or 2001. It's going to actually be better because the computer's been, you know, tinkered with. So now the EPA is going after those guys, and as of 2018, if I remember the date correct, all trucks will have to have some sort of diesel emissions system on it, DPF, DEF, whatever. Kind of like California does. California, every truck that enters into California has to have some kind of at least DPF filter on it. So it's unfortunate. They're choking off an industry that isn't bad, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, maybe not everyone's going the extra mile to reformulate these trucks and work the engines to where they get better mileage or lower emissions, things like that. But, you know, the EPA has set out rules that by 2018 everyone must have, it looked like, at least a DPF filter on their trucks. Also, they are going to limit the amount of trucks that are built or sold to 300 per manufacturer, per company. So these guys are basically going to have to downsize and restrict what they do and how much they do. Right now, they're kicking out, you know, a couple thousand a year, you know, per shop or whatever, and now they have to cut down to only 300. So they're choking off, they're killing a booming industry, and an industry that is helping the trucking industry keep rolling. And because of that, now they're going to have to basically stop. So, I mean, we could see sister companies, spin-off companies, what have you, break off, and, you know, so that company that was doing 2,000 trucks a year now is going to have, you know, maybe 5 different sister companies at the max of 300 each. You know, it wouldn't be the first time that's happened. You know, I could definitely see that happening, but it's really unfortunate, and hopefully this is not going to be the end of glider kits for trucks. It provided a great relief to companies like A&R Transport that is now able to continue business as is and not have to worry about trucks breaking down because a filter is clogged up and it's going to take 3 days, 4 days, 5 days for it to get cleaned out, and so the truck can be back on the road. Not all these companies have trucks laying around for guys to use, and you know, so a lot of the times these drivers are going without pay, and that's not good. It doesn't help anyone. But, you know, leave it to the government to say this is for the good of the people and screw everyone else, and, you know, snuff out one industry that is helping another industry continue to service, you know, the United States. It's not the first time something like that has happened, and it's not going to be the last, so it's something we'll have to just wait and see how it all turns out. Looks like right now the EPA is going to get their way. You know, one press release, an EPA official said, you know, we're trying to not be responsible for killing an industry. Well, guess what you're still doing, you know. You know, if you're not killing, you're severely suffocating. Where are we going here? This is the one downside to having these cones. There we are. Can't see crap. Now I see it. Oh, wrong way. Beautiful. Come on. Where is that point? There we go. All right. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this run. Hopefully I didn't really screw up all the information too much. Like I said, I didn't spend a whole lot of time researching it. I did see some EPA PDFs as well as some trucking industry articles, you know, but I didn't really find anything that laid everything out as the whole story. But I'll keep an eye on things, and if you guys know something, please, by all means, go ahead and comment down below. I'll keep an eye out for what information might come out about this and see what exactly is going on, because the fight's not over for it. And, you know, companies need to have that little bit of leeway so they can go ahead and stay rolling. They can't keep their trucks at the dealership getting repaired. That doesn't help anyone. It doesn't help them. It doesn't help us, the consumer. It doesn't help the customer. That's why I always said the joke about DEF. Yeah, it's working by lowering the emissions out of trucks. It helps by doing that, by keeping us off the road. And that's exactly what these things do. So we'll see what happens. So until Wednesday for backhaul, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you then. Take it easy.